It's day 14 of the 25 days of visibility. I'm ROSHANDA Pratt, visibility and communication strategist, empowering you to be seen, heard, and paid. And it's Sunday. So today is the day of a visibility reset. We're going to get more into that a little bit later. But as you are coming in, let me know where you are tuning in from. I also would love to know, what are your visibility plans, or usually what are your visibility plans when it comes to Sunday? This is a challenge that I gave myself in November to kick off December with 25 consistent days of doing live video. And I'm so glad that you're here to be a part of this conversation. Some of you all have been here since the beginning. And if you, in fact, have been here since the beginning, I want you to put beginner right here in the chat so I can say hello to you. So let's get into today's conversation. What I know to be true, because I have done it and maybe you've done it as well, that most people consume content all week. They are consumers, not producers. And there's a difference. A consumer is a person who just is consuming, doom scrolling, taking in content, but they're never producing content that makes them credible, that helps them to be seen, heard, and paid. Consumers learn frameworks. They take notes, they nod along, and then they do nothing. And that's not what I want to happen here. For these 25 days of visibility, yes, it's helping me to get back out there when it comes to live video. But more importantly, I want it to be beneficial for you. I want you to take action, because action cures all. And when you do nothing, you just move on to the next week, the next framework, and the next lesson. And people wonder why things never change. And here's what I know: learning without integration is entertainment. You didn't watch this week's episodes to be entertained. You didn't watch them because you want to build something. You want to go from hidden expert to go to authority. You want visibility that creates opportunity. But that only happens, friends, if you actually apply what you have learned. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. Today is not about me teaching. Today is about you reflecting. What did you learn this week? What are you going to implement? What needs to shift? So today, this is the visibility reset. And we're taking a look at what you learned on week 2 and maybe a little bit of week 1. Now, as I told you before, a lot of what I'm seeing happen is people are watching all of these episodes, they're taking notes, they're saving the frameworks, but they're not doing anything with it. Why? Because you're treating visibility like a course to complete instead of a strategy to implement. I checked it off the box. I attended day 11, day 12, day 13. Okay, but I want you to shift your mindset. Consumption mindset is, I watched all the episodes, I learned so much. Implementation mindset is, I've watched the episodes, I've applied 3 of the frameworks, and I saw these results. See the difference? One is passive, one is active. One makes you feel productive, one makes you actually productive. See, visibility isn't built by just watching videos. Visibility is built by doing the work. So today we're shifting from consumption to implementation. We are resetting. So as always, I love to give you a framework or some steps in order for you to implement. So this is the visibility reset framework. And I want you to think about this, even when I'm taking courses, right? When I am tapping into someone who is sharing their genius. These are 5 questions that I'm asking myself, and I'm challenging you to ask yourself. And then we're going to break them down. Question 1, what did I learn? Question 2, what resonated the most? Question 3, what am I going to implement? Question 4, what's my barrier? Question 5, what's my commitment for the week. Now let's walk through each one of those. Question 1, what did I learn? First question, what did you learn this week? Not what did I watch, but what did you learn? Watching is passive. Learning is when something shifts in your understanding. So let's think about this week. What framework did you encounter? What principles challenged your current approach? What made you think, oh, I've been doing this all wrong? I want you to drop that in the comments. Let's engage. So maybe one example is I learned that story is the vehicle, not the destination. I learned to let the lesson be the hero and not me. I learned that I need to curate my network, not just collect connections. That was a big one. You all love that content. I learned that visibility requires strategic engagement, not just posting content. So right now, in the comment section, whether you're watching this live or in the replay, I want you to drop right there in the comments, what did you learn this week? This is about being intentional. We are given so much information. We're inundated with so much content. This is taking an intentional approach to step back and say, wait a second, what is it that I learned besides just filling up another notebook with content? What is it that I learned? Okay? But learning is the first step. It's not enough. So question 2, what resonated the most? Out of everything you learned, what hit you square in the eye, in the gut? What caused you to go, ow? What caused you to go like, aha? What caused you to feel seen? What made you pause and think, this is exactly what I needed to hear? Usually what resonates most is what you need most. If a framework about curating resonated, it's because your network is cluttered. If a principle about storytelling resonated, it's because you've been oversharing or avoiding stories altogether. If a lesson about engagement resonated, it's because you've been broadcasting instead of connecting. What you resonate with reveals where you're stuck. So I want you to drop in the comments, what resonated most? X. Here's a couple of examples. The idea that you owe anyone a LinkedIn connection resonated. I've been saying yes out of guilt. Maybe make the lesson the hero and not you. I've been making my stories about me, not the lesson. Or maybe the daily 10 resonated. I've been posting but never engaging. I want to know what resonated with you. Right there in the comments, put those. Because what resonates reveals the work you need to do. Question 3, what am I going to implement? This is where we take action, right? This is where most drop the ball. They learn, they resonate, and then they do nothing. But that's not you, my friend. I know that for sure. You're going to pick one thing to implement this week, not 5 things, not 10 things, one. Why only one? Because implementation requires focus. If you try to implement everything, you will do nothing. So pick the one framework, principle, or tactic that will move the needle forward the most. So this week I'm implementing, I want you to let me know in the comments what that is. So here are a few examples. It might be this week I'm implementing the daily 10. I'm going to engage with 10 people every morning before I post. Maybe it's this week I'm implementing the 3-part story structure. I'm writing one strategic story. Or it's this week I'm auditing my 50 LinkedIn connections using the 3 connection filter. What are you implementing? Now, some of these things might feel like I remember that, but it's a little fuzzy. Remember, all of the replays are right here on YouTube and also on LinkedIn, at least for now. So go back and check out those replays. Pick one, do it, That's implementation. Question 4, we always have to ask, what's my barrier? We have to understand what I call threats to visibility. So, what's stopping you from implementing what you've learned? Be honest. Is it time? Is it fear? Is it overwhelm? Is it confusion? Some common barriers that I hear is I don't have time, right? The truth is, you have time, but you've just chosen to spend it on other things. Your visibility may require 2 hours per week. We all have 2 hours, right? I'm afraid of being judged is another barrier. Okay, you will be judged. That's the price of visibility. But the question is, staying invisible worth avoiding judgment? I don't think it's worth it. Another barrier, I don't know what to say. You know more than you think. Teach what you know, help when you can. Another barrier, I'm overwhelmed by all the frameworks. Well, you don't need all of the frameworks, you just need one. Pick one, implement it, then move to the next. Finally, I'm not seeing results yet. You won't see results in a week. Visibility compounds over 30, 60, 90 days. Keep going. So, what's your barrier? Drop it in the comments. This is a judgment-free zone, but I want to know. My barrier is be honest, and remember, there is no judgment. Your barrier is not a reason to quit. It's a problem to solve. Question 5, what's my commitment for this week? This is where you make it real. Not I'll try to do, or I should probably. It's a real commitment. This week I will, and name the specific action. So for example, this week I will do the daily 10 every morning for 7 days. See, we're building your consistency, your visibility muscle. This week I will write one strategic story using the 3-part story structure and post it on LinkedIn. This week, I will audit my 50 LinkedIn connections and remove the ones who don't fit my 3 types. This week, I will update my LinkedIn headline and about section. So what will you do this week? I want to see it and drop it in the comments. Make it specific, make it measurable, and make it public. Let me tell you how key this is. For many years, when I first started doing live streaming, I was challenged by a person who was helping me build my brand at the time that you need to pick a day that you're going to go live. Because at the time, I was very random. And she says, you need to be dedicated to time. Pick a time so that way people know when you're going to show up. And I remember not wanting to do that because that meant when I tell people that I'm going to be somewhere, I have to do it. It's just like these 25 days of visibility going live 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have got to show up. And so for many of you, the reason why you are not being specific is because, and making it public to people, is because you'll be held accountable for your words. If you want consistency, tell people what you're going to do. It's like, I'm going to go to the gym 3 days a week. I promise you, my coach is holding me accountable to that. I'm going to show up and do X, Y, and Z. People will hold you accountable. So public commitments create accountability. You just told me, you told the community, now do it. That is the visibility reset framework. What did I learn? Reflection. What resonated the most? Diagnosis. What am I going to implement? Action. What's my barrier? The problem and how to solve it. What's my commitment for the week? Accountability. Imagine if you did this every Sunday. An opportunity to learn, reflect, implement, repeat. This is how you build visibility that compounds. So that's your assignment for today. I want you to spend 20 minutes today just answering those 5 questions. What did I learn this week? What resonated the most? What am I going to implement? What's my barrier? And what's my commitment for the week? Not just in your head, write it down. Get a visibility journal, okay? In a journal, okay? In a note on your phone, in a Google Doc. Why? Because what gets written gets done. Habakkuk 2 talks about writing the vision and making it plain. So, writing, there's something powerful in writing. There is a hand to brain connection when you write something down because what gets written gets done. Then post your commitment in the comments or on LinkedIn and tag me in it. Make it public and make yourself accountable. So, we are going into week 3. This is wild. And we are going deeper when it comes to our visibility strategy. I want you to make sure to join me 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time as we go deeper in our visibility. Week 3 is all about us taking everything that we learned and we're going to the next level. But you can only go to the next level if you implemented what you learned this week. So today, take the time to reset, reflect, and commit because tomorrow we're back at it again. All right, that is the visibility reset. Here's what I need you to hear. You didn't show up this week to be entertained. You showed up because you want to build something. You want to go from hidden expert to go-to authority. You want visibility that creates opportunities, and that doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't happen by watching videos. It happens by doing the work. So today, reset, answer the 5 questions, identify what you're implementing this week, post your commitment, and then, just like Nike, just do it. Learning without implementation is entertainment. Implementation without consistency is a hobby. And consistency over 30, 60, and 90 days is how you build visibility that compounds. And my friend, you got this. I'm looking forward to seeing you as we go into week 3, 25 days of helping you to build your visibility so you can be seen, heard, and paid. I'm Visibility and Communications Strategist, ROSHANDA PRATT. We'll see you back here tomorrow.